without the PowerPoint, without the PowerPoint, I start my class. I want to start my class for the paper Financial Management 2. Sorry, some technical problems are arised mainly for the presentation of PowerPoint. But without PowerPoint presentation, I want to start my class for the paper Financial Management 2 for our taxation honor students, semester 6 taxation honor students. All the students of semester 6 of taxation honors are welcome online class which is arranged by our college authority for our students during the lockdown period. Already Department of Commerce upload different study materials in the college for the students of semester 6. All students are requested to study these study materials for their ensuing examination. Due to lockdown period, normal face-to-face classes cannot be arranged. Different problems arise in our students, but it wants to serve different facilities like online study materials, online class, examinations through this web portal. After lockdown, when the college will open for our students, then we can meet with our beloved students and different problems of the students will be solved by the teachers of the department and the college authority. Okay, the online class of the paper Financial Management 2. Today we discuss two units, working capital management 1 and unit 2, which is working capital management 2. In working capital management 1, in working capital, the topic list as per our syllabus in concept of working capital management, components of working capital, and liquidity and profitability time. There are 4 topics. First one is concept of working capital. Second one is concept of working capital management. Third one is components of working capital. And the last is liquidity and profitability triangle. First, we discuss the concept of working capital. The term working capital implies the amount of funds which a business firm uses its day-to-day work operation. In other words, the amount of funds required to meet day-to-day operation expenses for the purpose of smooth running of the business of a firm is called working capital. Then The next topic, working capital management. The term working capital refers to the overall administration of the current assets and current liabilities of the business. The basic objectives of working capital management is to manage the firm's current assets in such a way that a satisfactory level of working capital is maintained. It ultimately assists in enhancing the overall profitability of the firm. Each element of working capital periodically examined, and it should ensure the intrinsic value of all the elements of current maintained intact. The next topic is components of work. The main components of capital management are cash, account receivable, accounts payable, stock or inventory. Stock and inventory can into stock of raw materials, stock of and stock of finished goods. Now we discuss each one by one. Cash liquid form of funds. It is one of the huge components of working capital. It is necessary for every business to maintain optimum level of cash in hand, regardless of the second receivable. That means data, sundry data. Accounts receivable profit due to a business by their clients for the sale of goods. Efficient collection of account receivable essential to maintain of the company's operation. The next component is account payable, which is nothing but sundry. Account payable means the money an organization out throughout the short term. Normally, companies maintain balance between maximum cash flow by delaying payment as long as it is free. In addition, they need to keep positive credit rank while dealing with creditors suppliers. The last component is stock. Stock is one of the main components of work. Stock are of various types, which includes stock as raw materials of working progress and stock of finished. Investors give consideration turnover level become a sign of this strength to sales towards how efficient the business looks in their buying as well as production process. Stock that is minimum puts the company into danger zone of all product sales. Again, excessive high stock level, inefficient utilization of working. The last topic unit is liquidity and profitability triangle. First, we discuss what is the liquidity of the firm. Then we discuss what is the pay of the firm. Then we can discuss what is the relation between liquidity and profitability of the firm. First, liquidity of the firm. Liquidity is concerned with managing assets and short-term liabilities on regular basis. There are broadly three types of liquid ratios: quick ratio and absolute quick ratio, by absolute liquid ratio. All these measure liquidity. First is it is the relation between the amount of current assets or current liability. It is a tool for measuring short-term liquidity and of firms. In other words, it may be stated that this ratio is taken to measure the margin of safety of current liabilities that the management of a firm maintains in obtaining business finance from short-term sources. The second liquidity ratio is liquid ratio or quick ratio. It is the ratio between the total liquid assets and liabilities. The normal for such ratio is taken to 1. As tool for assessment of liquidity position of firms, it is considered to be for better than that of the current ratio. The third ratio is liquid ratio. Liquid ratio measures the relationship between cash and near cash items on the one hand and the immediately maturing obligation on the other. But as the component and near cash items in the calculation of liquid ratio comprises account receivable also, doubts have been expressed about the efficacy even of this ratio as a flawless tool for liquidity position of a firm. Then now we discuss what is the profitability. Profitability is the ultimate measure through which both operating and financial performance can be measured. Whenever a business operation, its main goal is to earn or maximize profit. A profit-earning business contributes positively towards society in terms of welfare activities or corporate social. Profitability of a firm is represented by the rate of return on its capital employed. Then, what is liquidity and profitability? It becomes obvious that a firm to maximize the rate of its investment, and it has caused to strive for ensuring its most appropriate investment for working capital purpose. The investment in working capital must be optimal, neither be in excess inadequate. It may generally be assumed that there is always a negative relationship between the liquidity and profitability. There is a negative relationship. But that is, however, not true in all cases. It is only when the investment in working capital is optimum can maximize their rate of return not only from the standpoint of profitability but also from the standpoint of liquidity. There are two types of risks inherent in capital management, namely liquid risk and opportunity loss risk. One is liquidity risk and another is opportunity loss. Liquidity risk is the non-availability of cash to pay a liability that falls. It may happen only on certain days. It can cause not only a loss of reputation, make the work condition unfavorable for getting the best terms of transactions with the trade creditors. The other risk involved in working capital management is the risk loss, that is, risk of having too little inventory, production, and sales, or the risk of not granting adequate credit for the achievable level of sales. This is the first topic or first unit of financial management 1. Then we discuss the second unit, management 2. In working capital management, there are four topics in our syllabus. First, various sources of finance to meet working capital requirements. Second one is different strategies of financing current assets. Third, bank financing. And the last one is management of components of working capital. Topic, various sources of finance to meet working capital requirements. One may be classified into two, short-term finance and the second is long. There are different sources of short-term finance, which are overdraft agreement, account receivable financing, customer advances, selling goods on installment, loan from commercial, trade credit, factoring, discounting bill of exchange, well accounts. Short-term finance includes these nine of sources, whereas long-term finance sources are long bank, retained profits or retained earnings, issue of equity and debenture. Sources related with long-term finance. Now we want to discuss different of short-term finance. First, overdraft agreement. Entering into an overdraft agreement with the bank will allow the business to go up to a certain limit without the need for further discussion. If the business repays quickly, then an overdraft is a valuable source of financing and one that many resort to. The second source is account receivable finance. Many banks and non-banking financial institutions invoice discounting facilities. The company commercial bill to the bank which makes the payment minus fee. Then the bank collects the money from the customer trader. Third source of term finance is customer advances. Many companies selling them goods or providing a service. Especially true while dealing with loads that take a long time to fulfill. This method also ensures that the company has some funds to channelize into its operation, filling those orders. The next source of short-term finance is selling goods on installment. Many companies that sells television sets, radios, refrigerators, and so on allow customers to make their payments in such a instead of waiting payment at the they allow the customers to make regular monthly payments. This ensures that there is a concern coming into the business that does not choke up the account receivable number. The next short-term finance loan from commercial bank. Small-scale enterprise loans from the commercial bank with or without security. Method of financing does not require formality except that of creating a mortgage on the asset. The next source is trade credit. Just as the companies sell goods on credit, also buy raw materials, other goods on credit from their suppliers. The outstanding amounts payable to the supplier, that is state creditors, for credit purchase are a source of finance. The next is factoring. Factoring is a financial service designed to help firms in managing their book debts and receivables in a better manner. The book debts and receivables to a bank called the factor and cash realized in advance from the bank. For rendering these services, the fee or commission charged is a percentage of the value of the book debt factor. This method of raising short-term capital and known as factoring. Next shows the accounting bill of exchange. When goods are sold on credit, bills of exchange are generally drawn by the buyers of goods. The writer of the bill, instead of holding the bill till the date of maturity, pay on them with commerce on payment of a charge known as discount. This method is widely by companies for raising short-term finance. The last short-term source is accounts. Generally, there is a certain amount of time gap between income is earned and is actually received, or expenditures become due and is actually paid. Salary, wages, and for example, become due of the month, but are usually paid in the first week of the next month. Thus, salaries and wages as expenses for a week help the enterprise meeting their working capital requirements. This source of raising funds does not involve any cost. Next, we are going to discuss the different sources of long-term finance. Previously, we say that type of long-term sources. One is long-term loan from bank, retained profit or retained earnings, issue of equities and debentures. Now we discuss these three long-term finance for working capital requirements. The first is long-term loan. Many companies for a full-fledged long-term loan from a bank that allows them all their working capital needs for 2 or more years or return earnings. Rather than making dividend payment to shareholders, many businesses retain a portion so that they may use working capital. This way, they do not have to take loan interest, incur loss on discount bills, and they can be long-term source issue equities and debentures. In extreme cases, is really short of funds or when the company is investing in a large-scale venture, might decide ventures or bonds to the general public, or in some cases, even equity stock. The next topic is different strategies of financing current assets. The next topic is different strategies of financing current assets. There are four strategies. Now we discuss each strategy of financing current assets. The first is matching strategy. Matching refers to the strategy adopted by a firm which considers expected life of source of funds raised to finance assets. For example, a company can raise a 8-year term loan for a machine which an expected life of 8 years. Argument in favor of adopting this method is that as the financing is to invest in an asset, the liability arising from financing the asset should be liquidated of the asset. The second strategy is deep strategy. Conservative strategy refers to the strategy which the firm relies more on long-term financing to meet its financial requirements. According to this strategy, assets, the permanent current assets, and a part of temporary current assets by long-term funds, and the remaining portion of the temporary current assets are financed by short-term. Aggressive strategy. Aggressive strategy refers to the strategy adopted by a firm which the firm relies more on short-term funds than on long-term funds, its current assets. According to this strategy, the fixed assets and a part of the permanent current assets are long-term source, while the remaining part of the term is short-term fund of working capital. The next is highly aggressive strategy. Highly aggressive refers to the strategy on short-term funds then earned to finance its current assets, but also a part of fixed assets. This strategy, the major part of fixed assets is financed by long-term funds, while the minor part of fixed assets and the entire current are financed by short-term funds. Topic is bank finance. Banks are the main institutional of working capital in India.